Hello everybody, welcome back to the Sports Playground channel. So today I'm here with my friend Henry. He's here to talk sports with me today. So we're going to start with a Super Bowl preview. And as I mentioned last video, it's going to be 49ers versus Chiefs. So Henry, who do you think is going to win this game?
Well, I think the 49ers have everything they need. Jimmy G has really evolved into a star this year. The past couple of years, they've had some injury problems at QB, first starting with Colin Kaepernick, and they've really tried to find a solution for that QB.
Well, it was more than injury problems with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, more, as most people should know. Yeah. I won't go too in-depth with that, based on the fact that we're trying to stay non-political and thus forth. Yeah. And anyway, so like I said, they traded for Jimmy G. They got him from the Patriots, and I feel like the Patriots were missing out now that Tom Brady could be ending his career. But don't focus too much on Jimmy G. Jimmy Garoppolo, for those who didn't know that. So yeah, he had a great year. But I think I want to focus on this guy, Mostert, who actually had a breakout. Not year, but just a game.
Breakout year.
Breakout year and a game.
Whole second half of the season was
this year,
insane.
Last game he rushed for 220 yards, 4 touchdowns. It was remarkable. And I feel like after Coleman went down, who just returned to practice today.
We're unsure of his status on if he'll play or not.
Yes, after he came down, he came into the game, and he really involved. And I feel like sometimes those are kind of blessings in disguise where one of your stars come out and you realize, wait, we have something more in this guy. And so, along with that, to add on to their offense, we have 2 very good tight ends. I won't talk too much about Kelsey. I'll be talking about that. But Kittle is really have involved in the last year. He really started, and he's just keeping it going, and he's really shown in his best game against the Saints this year, where he really just powered through, and he can go through in those clutch moments, which should be necessary when you're facing someone with like the Chiefs, who came back from 24-0, I believe, 24-0 versus the Texans, and came back and won 51-31, and that's going to bring us to like I said, the offense, which is electric, and they're going to have to really show that with that much points that are going to be scored this game. They're really going to have to bring it. But the defense, they've got a lockdown cornerback, probably going to be on Tyreek Hill most of the game, Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman has been in the league for a very long time, went with the Seahawks. He won a Super Bowl. He lost to the Patriots, sadly. Anyway, but lost to the Patriots, and since then he's really stayed a great cornerback, and I think he is really involved. And like I was saying, he has become a lockdown corner. But something that I feel like is interesting, that D Ford is playing for the 49ers, and
maybe he'll jump off sides.
And last year he cost the Chiefs a Super Bowl chance. He cost the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe even the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
I think they could have beat the Rams. They definitely could have beat the Rams last year.
It was just a bummer. And I feel like D Ford is kind of looking for redemption, facing his past team, which he could probably have a Super Bowl ring already. But he's looking for another one here.
The revenge.
Yes, and just to add on to their defense, they have Mosley and Bosa, which are both electric, and Bosa having a great year. And so that's it for the 49ers. Like I said, I think they have everything they need for a great Super Bowl win.
Yeah, but there's no competition. Patrick Mahomes is way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. It's obvious. Now, their running game is not even close to as good as the 49ers, and I'll give them that. But just when you look at their passing attack, it is not fair. You've got Patrick Mahomes passing to Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelsey, Sammy Watkins, all out there on one team. Think about that. You have an All-Pro and a Pro Bowl returner out there at wide receiver, and a former All-Pro and Pro Bowl returner out there.
Yeah, but their defense cannot handle the 49ers.
But their defense can't handle the 49ers, but can the 49ers defense handle the Chiefs? And it's also what I think. They cannot do it. They have a great pass rush, but Patrick Mahomes is smart. He knows how to stay away from the pass rush. He knows when to get rid of the ball, when to throw it away, when to do he knows all the right moves.
Yes, I see. What do you think the wide receiver comparison is there compared to, because there's obviously weapons that the Chiefs might have, such as Tyreek Hill, as compared to what the 49ers might have. Yeah. But I feel like there's a widespread variety of 49ers players, which could give them the advantage.
Yeah, but, I mean, when you look at comparisons, you have Sammy Watkins, when you line it up, wide receiver 1 versus wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 versus wide receiver 2, you have wide receiver 1, Tyreek Hill, versus wide receiver 1, Emmanuel Sanders, which clearly, at this point in their careers, respectively, Tyreek Hill is the better receiver.
Yes, and I feel like Sanders is wearing off, but you also have Samuel and Bourne, who are both younger.
Second receiver, you've got Deebo Samuel versus Mecole Hardman, both quick guys, or not Mecole Hardman, my bad. Sammy Watkins, also a speedster out there. He's got in my opinion, he's got better receiving skills than Deebo Samuel. I think Deebo Samuel is a very good end-around type guy that he handed off to, and a very run-after-catch guy. He's very much run-after-catch, and yeah. They're very similar, but in my opinion, Sammy Watkins is better.
I see. But also, the Chiefs did have some special team problems their last game versus the Texans.
Versus the Texans.
Yeah, versus the Texans.
They definitely had some special teams issues, a blocked punt, and, all kinds of.
Do you think they could have some jitters like they did that first game versus the Texans, in which they gave up 24 points, which could be a big deficit, especially when it comes to the Super Bowl?
They have the jitters literally against the Titans, too. I mean, it was 17-7 at one point.
Yeah.
But I think Patrick Mahomes, combined with Andy Reid, they just know how to take over a game. No matter what the score is, they know how to just get back in the lead and hold that lead off.
And also, I realized that Hardman had a big impact, and I feel like on the special team side to the Chiefs. But
he had that explosive return that got them back in it.
Yeah. So, I think it's just going to be a game changer. But I think the thing that could put the 49ers ahead is if they do have those jitters. But the thing is, the 49ers defense might be too good. Same with the offense. So if they do have those jitters and the 49ers can get a good 14-0 lead, 17-0 lead, so forth.
In my opinion,
then they might.
I don't know. I think if there's going to be any team with the jitters here, it's going to be the 49ers. I mean, the Chiefs have made the playoffs all these years. So many years in a row, they've been in the playoffs. They've been so many. What is it, 4 years in a row at least? Yeah. Around 4 years in a row now.
I mean, but the 49ers, they might be coming off a Super Bowl loss in Super Bowl. I forget what Super Bowl they were facing the Ravens.
2012, back in 2012.
Yes, back in 2012. And, they are coming off a tough...
But that was 8 years ago. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
That was a completely
that was their last Super Bowl show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like they have... It's not like they've never realized
this is a first-time playoff team. There's only a few, veterans who have been there, done that. You've got players like Richard Sherman, and you've got players like Joe Staley was there for that run. Sanders. Yep, Sanders has been there. Ford has been there. And those are, the main component guys who have been there to the playoffs, and a few of them have been to the Super Bowl. Take Sanders. He's been there to the Super Bowl.
With the Broncos.
Yep, he went with the Broncos. And Richard Sherman went multiple times
with the Seahawks.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and so I feel like that could separate, especially with Mahomes. It's the first time he went to the Super Bowl, and he's a young guy. But I feel like you could say the same thing about Jimmy Garoppolo, which he's...
Sure, he's been in the Super Bowl, but he doesn't know what it's like to play in one, though.
Fair point. So anyway, we're probably going to move on from the Super Bowl. We'll probably have another video after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well,
showing
I will probably have not a post-game, but a what we learned video after the Super Bowl.
Yes, from the 49ers crushing the Chiefs, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. We've got
our respective opinions here.
So, yes, we're going to move on just to finish our videos to some MLB stats here.
Actually, yeah.
So we got some big news from Castellanos actually going to the Reds. He had a great year last year with the Cubs and the Tigers.
289 average, 27 home runs.
Yes.
78 RBIs.
Yes, I'm not sure how you know these things, but very, very good. Must have some very good memory. But yeah, so I feel like he had a great year, and I've always felt like the Reds were an underrated team in the way that
they've got a great roster this
They've got a great roster, and actually, we were actually laughing a few days ago about how Suarez actually got a injury while swimming.
Yeah, that was.
So that's kind of embarrassing because like the only people I know that get injured are like 4-year-olds running around. So so I think that's just me. Maybe like in the future, maybe when I become a star MLB player, probably not, but maybe I'll have some swimming pool incidents.
Maybe.
Anyway, and we also see Marte. Marte got traded to the D-backs.
Starling Marte traded to the Diamondbacks from the Pirates.
Yes, had a good year. He was past All-Star, and I feel like
for a few young prospects.
The D-backs don't really have the tools. I don't feel like they have the tools to really make it too far, but I definitely think they could be preparing for a good run with Bumgarner.
I feel like they could make the playoffs. A wild card team.
A wild card team.
But that's a really hard division.
Yeah, with the Dodgers.
You got the Dodgers out there, and the Rockies.
The Rockies don't have a bad team.
They had an off season, but I think they could really step it up.
With Blackman kind of had an off year, and I feel like Story I think Story's a little underrated based on his performance.
Oh yeah,
and then Arenado, I feel like with the trade rumors, I do not think he's gonna get traded.
Hopefully, hopefully these trade rumors don't result in a falling apart in the organization, resulting in a bad team from the Rockies. I don't want to see them being bad.
There's Starling Marte had some rumors of going to the Mets, which actually bring me to my next point. Luis Rojas went to the Mets. He was an organization guy. He was actually the reason the Mets don't have a manager is because Carlos Beltran, obviously, part of that cheating scandal. I'm not sure if I necessarily like it because he was a player during that time. But you could say the same thing about Bregman, Altuve. So will this hurt their manager career if they ever want to become a manager? So I'm just not sure about that. But I mean,
we'll see. That'll be in quite a few years.
Yeah, quite a few years. So it's not really something that's coming up. But I mean, he was just a player, like all the other players. So I'm not sure if you can really put too much blame on him. But
also,
anyway,
another manager hiring Dusty Baker, hired as the Astros manager. He has I think it's a 23-32 record in the playoffs, which a lot of that was with previously the Nationals. A lot of games lost.
Yes.
A lot of just things that they wish could have gone better because they were a great team previously.
I think that's part of the reason that the Nationals got to get rid of them because he once went to the playoffs every year before Dave Martinez came in.
Yeah,
he could get them to the playoffs, but the problem is once they got there, lost, and they
couldn't do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, especially with all those weapons that the Nats have. They did have Rendon, they had Strasburg, Scherzer, Soto. And I feel like with that good of a team, you should be able to make some type of World Series run on a playoff run, which way they were.
Maybe it's their schedule. I mean, because you think about it,
that
was probably a low point in the NFC or the NL East.
Yeah, the Braves didn't have Acuna and all of those people.
The Braves didn't have anybody. The Mets were struggling.
With Pete Alonso, they didn't really have Pete Alonso. They had David Ray,
Marlins,
old and broken. The Marlins have never been good, so I mean
that's not true. They've been good.
I mean, they've been good before, but not really in recent time.
Not in a good bit. Not in a few years.
So, yeah, and again, Dusty Baker, the reason he was able to become the Astros is because of the suspensions given to A.J. Hinch. Again, the suspensions given to A.J. Hinch.
Resulting in the firing.
As well as their GM. But he got fired. He got a suspension, which led to the firing. And, they were kind of in a rush. And the Red Sox, not much rumors about that. We will eventually get something from them. And so, yeah. That's it from me.
So, thank you guys so much for watching today. I mean, I really appreciate everyone who watched last video. It's so great. And I'd love it if you checked out my Instagram, if you checked out my Facebook, Mason Reshitar, Instagram, Sports Playground, and in the future, I'm probably going to be making some Madden videos, so down in the comments below, tell me what you think about that, and we'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe.
See ya.
Goodbye.